She's hated him since we were 15. After 13 years, I almost let her win. My husband, M33, and I have been together for 12 years, married for 7, and just welcomed our second child. He's the love of my life, the most patient and loyal person I know. But after our son was born, I nearly walked out on him, because of my mother, a relentless narcissist who has bullied both of us since I was 15. Here's the backstory. Father-in-law deceased in 2019, and we went no contact with his mother in 2021. My mother, F55, is a strict traditionalist who believes in caste and class system, and she's always hated that my husband is mixed race, his words he is a half-blood, considering him as a low class. I met him when I was 15 after moving countries due to her remarriage. We instantly clicked. She instantly sabotaged it. She and my stepdad went to absurd lengths to isolate me. Paid classmates to spy, followed me around school, even sat in my classes. It was horrible. The harassment peaked when they publicly confronted my then 15-year-old new friend during football practice, which from what he tells me is that he tried to be as respectful and polite as a teen can be, reaching out for handshakes and addressing them as Mr. and Mrs.'s, the whole nine. It all changed when my mum refused to even acknowledge him and started accusing me of being a drug addict, and overall saying that I was bad news and needed a fresh start with no distractions. All lies. They got the school to change my schedule and threatened to press charges against him because we were seen together in between classes. We had at least 3 to 4 classes together. He ended up transferring schools to a different town to escape the madness brought on by her incessant calling and badgering of my high school admin. Plus, threatening him saying that if he didn't leave me alone that she would pull me out of this school and put me in another, going through lengths to manipulate him and the admin to have him suspended, leaving him with no other choice from lack of help from the high school admin and parents. He decided of leaving his friends and what was left of his reputation. For years later, we found each other again and began dating seriously. I had left home at 18 after overhearing her gossiping and spreading more lies about me. My mother never stopped trying to tear me or us apart. Even when we'd help her clean or organize her home every weekend, protect her from her abusive husband, she'd mock him constantly. His weight, background, posture, intelligence, nothing was off limits, sometimes right to his face, often in another language. I told her to stop, but I never truly stopped her. I'd been conditioned to take her abuse quietly, and I let her treat him the same. That's something I carry deep guilt over. She's ruined every major milestone of our lives. Our first apartment? She took over our lease as we were moving away, then abandoned it, leading us to collections years later. Our first dog? Continuous abuse towards the dog, constantly asking to leave it somewhere or complaining about their hair. It was an uphill battle. Our wedding? She begged me to leave him days leading to our wedding day, promised me better sperm, a house, a car, anything to make me walk away. She showed up in a white dress. I didn't even notice until recently. Our first child? I had a brutal pregnancy, HG, constant hospital visits, 2 to 3 times a week, and she told me it was my fault for getting pregnant with defective sperm. When she finally met our daughter at 4 months, she said, "You were much prettier than this," and has never really tried or wanted to bond with her. We had agreed as a couple many years ago that my husband would be a stay-at-home dad as we had invested in my career, which supported all of us, and this lifestyle worked for us, plus he is an amazing cook. This was a huge cause of friction for everyone, especially mother, who would call him a bum, leech, lazy, etc. It affected him so much, and all I could do was support his insecurity by telling him I love him and our life. We eventually moved to a different state for a fresh start away from her and the negativity. Still, we kept trying. My husband was always kind, always hopeful. He never gave up on me, or on her, as she had raised me as a single mother prior to her remarrying, and she was all I had. We slowly started to limit ourselves, like not posting on social media because it had used against us, as she would reach out to people that were friends with my private account. Major trust issues resulting in us hating social media or expressing ourselves due to it being weaponized. It just wasn't worth it. Then I got pregnant again, with a boy. And suddenly, her whole attitude completely changed. She started calling more, visiting more, playing nice. My exhausted HG-ridden self thought, maybe this is finally it. Maybe she's accepting us. I let her back in. Big mistake. She became affectionate toward our daughter, but in disturbing, manipulative ways. Backhanded compliments, empty threats, power games. We saw the same bullying cycle beginning again. When our son was born, things escalated. She visited us under the guise of helping, but immediately started poisoning my mind. Telling me my husband was absent, uninvolved, a bad father. Meanwhile, he was finishing finals/internships, single-parenting our toddler, and keeping our household running during the duration of my high-risk pregnancy. She waited until I was emotionally depleted, jobless, exhausted, recovering, and started planting seeds. One of the days when she was visiting, I found myself packing a box of our kids' clothes, just to get her to stop harassing me. She said, "We'll leave quietly as I'm worried what he'll do if he found out." And I almost did. The confrontation came during his finals week. I broke. I threw every cruel lie she fed me at him. He was blindsided, heartbroken. But somehow, we talked. We cried. We remembered we love each other. The next day, she exploded when she realized I wasn't leaving. She and my husband finally had it out. He shouted, "Please stop trying to ruin my life. I love my family, and I deserve to be treated like a human in my own home. You need therapy," and that visiting was off the table until she did so after getting in her jabs, and she ultimately retreated into the room she was in and showered because she was stressed out. And that was it. She went home. I slowly began to wake up from the hangover of her visit. Now? I'm sobering up from the emotional hangover of my mother's toxicity. Rethinking all the relationships, revisiting memories that I have blocked out. I blocked her after she called just to ask about my son, not my daughter, didn't even bother to ask. I realized she's never loved me unconditionally or at minimum wanting my happiness even if it differed from her own definition, and she never will. My husband is still here. Hurt, but here. I've confessed everything, even the box packing. He's trying, but I can feel the pain I caused. And I don't know how to make it right. I let her infect our lives, over and over, and he stayed. He stayed and loved me unconditionally. I want to fight for us now. I just don't know how to begin. I feel so unworthy of his love or partnership. I can't understand why he stayed and still loves me after everything I've put him through. We have agreed to do marriage counseling once I start my new job, and that I will work on reprocessing the last 3 decades of my life with medication, which is a start in the right direction.
Relevant comments. Constant thought 6. Are you considering still having this woman in your life? That would be a huge slap in the face to your husband, who has put up with way more than most would. You need to make a choice. Alex MIA. Exactly, keeping her around sends the message that his hurt doesn't matter. At some point loyalty has to mean setting real boundaries.
OP. No, I don't plan to at all. I love my husband and he has been my rock for decades. I'm way past boundaries, I'm ready to move on and mourn her. I have wanted to go and see many times over the years, only to be pressured by others with things like, "Oh, it'll get better when you get married," and then it was, "It'll get better when you have kids," or, "But she is your mother who raised you alone by sacrificing her youth." It's my fault for giving in this many times at the expense of him and our sanity.
No_roof_1910. He's trying, but I can feel the pain I caused. And I don't know how to make it right. I let her infect our lives, over and over, and he stayed. He stayed and loved me unconditionally. You can't make it right, OP, don't try. He's giving you grace, so accept it. Don't try to do something that is impossible, as it can't be done. You can't go back and give him years of a nice happy life and relationship together, but that time has come and gone, it's gone forever. Live in the present, live for now, be present with him, be good to him, but do not try to make up for something that you can't. None of us could. Don't lose yourself trying to make up for something that can't be made up for, and forget to be present today.